Hello, this is the 63rd lecture of the Semantic SEO course. In this lecture, we will dive into the specific contextual vector to understand its contextual connections to the query networks that appears in this area. The first question that we ask in this part, it is a macro context area that we can easily connect to do actually both of the H2s that we have here. We have one H2 here and another one in this area. And when we look at the other H2s in these sections, they are not directly actually subsections, but they are a kinds of different types of directions in our contextual vector, but still they are highly connected to the specific what is pH question and also what to know about the pH of the drinking water. And the reason that we ask this specific definitive question is that if we are able to define the concept of pH in a better way, we will be able to be more relevant to this specific question. Since this is an explicit question query, we put the same question in this area in a direct way as well. Once we define it in a better way, we connect it back to this specific area and we do it with an H3. The purpose here is that connecting this specific question and its answer back to our drinking water context as much as possible, so that any relevance point, or let's say relevance score, that we are able to take from this section, which means the queries that involve the concept of pH, but the queries that don't involve the water explicitly, we are able to increase our ranking chance for these sections in a better way. When you look at the queries from health line, seeing that pH appears without the word water, it doesn't happen that much because health line in this area, they have missed the specific contextual domain and its borders. That's why they don't focus on the pH. But in our situation, we focus on pH, being acidic and basic and health effects of pH, and mainly in the context of water. But also we touch these other points to be able to increase our overall relevance structure. So once we ask what is pH question and importance of pH for drinking water, we directly start from how does pH affect drinking water section. In this case, you should understand that pH and drinking water, they appear together, but we create a triple here. pH in this area, it is the subject, and this is the object, and this is the specific predicate that we have chosen in this area. Then we directly use the drinking water pH level chart. If you one more time search for the word chart, you will realize that it will be appearing in both of the columns. And pH drinking water chart is directly here too, which means that we will need to design another chart image to be able to be responsive. If you have an image annotation in your contextual structure, and if you use these specific phrases also inside your paragraphs, you will need to design these images. In the context of AI related or generative AI related lectures in the future, we will see these things, how we can actually use the original images from our competitors and make them actually even more unique and more original and responsive to the query needs or the needs behind the query. And in this area, once we ask this specific question, we go with the how can you test the pH level of drinking water? Because testing pH or just testing the pH level, it is directly inside these specific query networks. The word pH level, as you see, as a word sequence, it has been used a lot. And this question here, it is a represented version of this one as well. Which means if you are able to ask the level and also the what is pH with water and without water, it will be helpful for us because while defining the pH, we will be also defining the pH level and we will be giving the overall scale as well. Once we talk about the test results of the pH level of the drinking water, we will be able to affect what are the effects of every level of pH. What is the effect of low pH water, drinking water, and what is the effect of high level of pH water and high level of pH Arctic water effect, Arctic hot water with high level of pH effect, Arctic hot water level, high level pH, drinking water before the bath, etc. Sorry for the confusion there, but my point here is that you will need to combine all these things with each other. That's why in this part, actually, in the supplementary area, the section that we will be directly linking to other parts, we are using all these specific water types because we will be diving in all of the pH levels of these waters. And as you see, in the last part, we directly link to the luxury water, which will be connecting all the pH related things to our context, source context for improving our overall relevance. And sparkling water in this area, it is important for us too, because it's already processed in the source and it's easier to actually connect it back to the pH level, because in the context of comparison or versus related queries, we see that pH levels are already compared with, let's say, specific sparkling water and other types of waters as well. And as you see, distilled water, it appears a lot inside the queries, and we directly put it to the top. When distilled water is highly actually compared with tap water, that's why we put it into the first section one more time. So there are many other sections that we will need to talk about in this area. In the next lecture, we will continue to examine our article methodology together with the contextual vector a little bit further. Thank you.